Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play More, or Let's Play Murder on the Orient Express. With me, Classic Gamer. I found out what to do. I had to look it up because as you guys know, I was stuck. I went round everywhere on the train, and in fact, what I had to do was not on the train. It was in fact out here in the open air, where the near where the hut is, where we got the spouts from for the crate, the barrels in the baggage compartment, and down here is the item we need. It's one item, just one, and Pryor did say revisit ground you've already covered. Now, if I had known this already, I would have obviously checked, but the fact that I obviously haven't played this past this point, because I never opened the safe, I never knew this bit. Also, on top of that, the other annoying thing is that I started a new game to see if it was actually a glitch in the game that I had come across that I couldn't progress. So let's grab what this is. I already know what it is, I've already done it, but let's grab what it is. Let me get a little bit of a cutscene here. Minus has snowshoes, which is quite weird. Yep, that's all we needed. It's actually, when we look at it in our inventory, she doesn't say anything about it, which is weird, but it's actually a steak knife. I'm not sure whose steak knife it is, but it seems spotless. So now we can actually go back and talk to Poirot. Of course, as I say, I've already done this, so I already know that this is what you need to do. So, very quickly, we'll go back. And we can now talk to Poirot.
Ah, you returned. Is there more to report to me, mademoiselle?
And that is everything I have discovered so far.
We progress, mademoiselle. Now, let us see what we can learn.
The steak knife I found by the cliff was clean. No blood or fingerprints.
It is a nuisance, that knife. On the face of it, it is of no importance. And yet, someone has taken the trouble to try and fling it over a cliff. And so, we advance in our investigations. It is obvious that our fellow passengers have not been entirely forthright. I would suggest questioning them all again. Confront them with evidence you have uncovered, compare the alibis, and study your timetable. You have still not had the opportunity to search all of the compartments. Revisit those you have already searched as well. The situation aboard this train changes from moment to moment. Leave nothing to chance. And there are other mysteries still to be explained, such as the identity of the occupant of Monsieur Ratchet's crate. Is he the attendant the engineer saw board the train with Michel? A man small and dark?
So now finally we have the next cutscene, which in fact moves the game forward, which is really, really good. Part 3, Hercule Poirot sits back and thinks.
Those whistles mean a train with a snowplow has arrived from Broad. We should be on our way again in a very few hours. Can you see any clear path to the solution of the mystery, Monsieur Poirot?
There is a path, certainement. How clear it is as yet I cannot say. And you? Have you no theories?
So many clues, so many theories.
You have hammered the nail on its head, mademoiselle. There are far too many clues, too many theories. Please, to recommence the investigation, tout de suite.
And he seems to be up and about, which is good.
Monsieur Poirot. And that is everything I have...
We progress, mademoiselle. Let us...
Can we use the ham radio to help the investigation?
Oh, but certainement. This is a marvelous stroke of luck. Too often the coincidences, they help the criminal. What a refreshing change to have one that will aid Poirot. I have the friend, Monsieur Louis. His son Barnabas is a boy of much energy and interests. One of these is the radio of Ham, as his proud father reports in the recent correspondence. Young Barnaby can be our eyes and ears in the outside world. His letters to call are there in my valise in the letter from his father. Use the radio of Ham to find out more from him about our current predicament. Oh, he is an invaluable asset, mademoiselle. Do not forget to secure his letters, or you will not have the information needed to reach young Barnaby.
This book of Masterman's reveals more than he knows.
Love's Captive by the inestimable Mrs. Arabella Richardson, yes. And what does it reveal to you?
Beneath that very proper exterior, Masterman is a hopeless romantic.
Perhaps. But I fear that this revelation would only be of embarrassment to Monsieur Masterman. It does not advance our investigation.
This driving license indicates Foscarelli has been a chauffeur.
A not unnatural profession for a man who loves the motor cars.
Hildegard Schmidt's recipe box is suggestive.
You remember at dinner how she was most opinionated with the waiter while studying the menu? And the label on the box, it is interesting as well. My lady's recipes. Now that suggests that she is accustomed to cooking for her employers. Not a duty one attaches to the lady's maid, n'est-ce pas?
Mary Debenham's handkerchief does not match the one found next door.
No, despite the middle name of Hermione beginning with an R, I did not think that the expensive handkerchief would belong to her. No, the handkerchief of Mademoiselle Debenham is precisely the type one might expect to find in the luggage of a young Englishwoman of her class.
The postcard I found in Greta Olsen's suitcase tells a story.
This card, it speaks to Poirot in many ways. Coney Island is, I think, on the Long Island of New York in America. A country she claims not to have visited. Mademoiselle Olsen does not send the postcard to Sweden as she perhaps intended, but saves it as a keepsake for herself. It is not a happy memory, this. A last brief moment in the sun for a family soon to be swept away by the storm. Merci, mademoiselle. Unfortunately, the report, it is not yet complete. We are now armed with much more additional knowledge than before. Continue the investigation, and do not be afraid to go over the ground you have already covered.
The letter. Now I'd better put Monsieur Poirot's clothes back exactly as I found them. I wouldn't dare. I'd disturb Monsieur...
Okay. Right. I'm going to do a few things in this coach here. I don't think I need to get anything else in the cars, but there is something I need to do in here.
I've already...
The notorious scarlet kimono in your bag, mademoiselle.
Well, of all the nerve.
Now, I'm going to go back to the salon car and talk to the various people, because now we can actually talk to everyone! Yay!
Hello again.
Monsieur McQueen,
I love how you say my name.
will you be serious?
I am serious. Sorry. I better be careful. I've realized I'm definitely the most suspicious character on the train. All you have to do is find a will in which the old man left me all his money, and that'll just about clinch it.
Is there a will?
Not that I know of. He'd never leave me a cent, really. I was just useful to him. Languages and so on. I'm no linguist, but I can get by in German and Italian and French.
You told me you knew Sonia Armstrong.
Yes, I did. My dad was the district attorney on the case. So yes, well, I was just a kid, of course, a teenager. Schoolboy crush, I suppose, and all that.
It occurs to me that in spite of everything, the murder may not have to do with the Armstrong case at all.
Oh? I thought that must be pretty settled.
We have much evidence pointing to the existence of an outsider aboard the train. One who disguises himself, uses a stiletto to kill, then vanishes into the snow. What do you think?
It's certainly a possibility, but in that case, it'll be hard to catch now. He's had quite a head start.
Or he could be out there frozen in a snowdrift or lying broken at the bottom of a rocky ravine. The body may never be found until the spring thaw.
Well, that conjures up an unpleasantly graphic image. You seem to really enjoy this stuff.
I enjoy the investigation, monsieur. I certainly do not enjoy the fact that a man has died.
No, of course not. Say, I was just wondering. I mean, I have no plans to return to the States right away. I may find myself back in Istanbul. I was wondering if you might consider having dinner with me some night.
I might consider it if you promise to relax.
Relax? Sure, you bet. You will? Say, that's swell. I can't say I'm unhappy Ratchet's dead for two reasons. He deserved it, and I met you.
Well, had a good rummage through my kit, I expect?
Yes, thank you. There is still some information I think you might be able to give us.
Indeed? I hardly think so.
Is that pipe cleaner one of yours?
Don't know. I don't have them monogrammed.
Can you tell me how the pipe cleaner came to be in Monsieur Ratchet's compartment?
Haven't a clue.
Did you go into Monsieur Ratchet's compartment at any time?
I've never even spoken to the man.
You never spoke to him, and you did not murder him.
If I had, I should hardly be likely to acquaint you with the fact.
Ah, well, it is of no consequence.
Oh?
Monsieur Poirot has told me he can think of 11 excellent explanations of its presence. Not now, when it's all over, when it's behind us.
Is that a quote?
Mademoiselle Debenham said those words to you at Sirkeci Station in Istanbul. Tell me to what those words referred.
Why don't you ask Miss Debenham?
I will.
You have nothing whatever against her.
I'm sorry, but you're wrong. We know that Mademoiselle Debenham was governess in the Armstrong household at the time Daisy Armstrong was kidnapped.
The devil, you say?
If Mademoiselle Debenham is innocent, why did she conceal the fact?
I have no idea, but your suspicions are utter rot.
Why did Mademoiselle Debenham tell me she had never been to America?
You better ask her. I still think you are wrong. You're making a serious mistake.
I think it is you, Colonel, who have made the mistake.
I will not answer any more.
Yeah.
Signore Foscarelli, I'm here for the truth.
I think that everyone has underestimated this Signore Poirot, and you too, Signorina. You too.
Okay, so this is going to be a lot of talking and stuff, so I'm not going to talk very much. I'm just going to let you guys enjoy it. Funnily enough, there's not many LPs of this game on YouTube. I've looked up an LP, and there's actually one LP, but they're on two different channels. So they've got two guys who done it, put them on both their channels. And I don't believe the LP's actually finished, which is really weird. And last time they did a video on it was back in 2012. Whether or not they gave up on it, I don't know. The only other thing that there is a German one, which is useless to anyone who is English. No disrespect to anyone who's German, but I can't speak German, and it's useless to me because I don't understand a word of it. The only other thing there is a walkthrough with no commentary. Now, that's good in a way, but not that great. So I may find that this actually gets quite a lot of views because my other one got quite a lot of views. And again, the guys who did this LP also done and then there were none, and my LP is right underneath theirs. So there you go.
I found a chauffeur's license in your suitcase.
Yes, but it is a fact I have loved motor cars my whole life. Selling them, though, is much finer than driving other people's cars.
The license is issued by the state of New York. You said you lived in Chicago. Chicago is not in that state, is it?
No. Chicago is in the state of Illinois.
It will be a point in your favor if you tell me the truth.
You talk like the American police. Come clean. That is what they say. Come clean.
You were arrested by the American police. Was that in New York?
Arrested? No, no, never. They could not prove anything against me.
Don't you think you should come clean, monsieur?
It is true. I have not been frank with you. The word frank, it is odd, no? It is a man's name, but I think it is correct here. I am not frank. Sometimes, you know, a motor car may not be perfect, but you must make a sale. So you are not frank.
You were the Armstrong chauffeur, were you not?
Since you know, why ask me?
Why did you lie to me?
Lie? Lie? I did not lie. I was not frank.
Why?
I do not trust the Yugoslavian police. They do not like Italians. They would not have given me justice.
Tell me about Daisy Armstrong.
That little one. Ah, she was the delight of the house. Tonio, she called me. They all did. She would sit in the car and pretend to hold the wheel. Ah, such a beautiful little one.
Have you been frank about your movements last night?
I had nothing to do with that business. It was not I who killed that big ratchet. You cannot prove anything against me.
That will do for now, Monsieur Foscarelli.
I understand we'll be underway soon.
Yes, the snow is being cleared now. I'm sorry you'll miss your boat to America.
Under the circumstances, I've decided to stop in Paris for a few days, play with my grandchildren, and recuperate from this trip.
Have you thought of anything else that might be helpful to our investigation?
Well, you certainly have everyone in an uproar. Maybe next time you'll be able to be more discreet. Oh, I forgot. You probably won't be doing any more investigating after this, will you?
That's all.
That wasn't helpful? I thought it was.
That will do for now, Madame Hubbard. Monsieur Hartman?
I owe you an apology, Miss Marceau.
You do?
I wasn't very polite when we first met outside the station. And I came on kind of strong when you caught me going through Michelle's things. There's no excuse for it. Fact is, I've always liked French girls. And that's not a lie, just the way it is. That makes my behavior even worse somehow, I think. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Monsieur Hartman. I accept your apology.
Thanks. So exactly what's up on this train? Seems bughouse to me.
To me, too, sometimes.
Fire away if you want to grill me some more.
Have you done any more investigating of your own?
Nope, after you caught me, I figured it wasn't worth it. Snooping around might make me look guilty. I've been sitting tight.
It seems obvious the murder is tied to the Armstrong kidnapping.
How did you and Poirot get wise to that? That's what I'd like to know.
We guessed.
Okay, I'll pretend I believe that.
You were not the gardener at the Armstrong house, were you?
They didn't have a garden. I'm beginning to believe I'm about the only one on this train who had no connection to that case.
Have you any ideas of your own about the crime?
I admit it's got me beat. Whoever did it, I figure Ratchet had it coming.
I don't think she's in the mood for conversation. Pardon me, Count. I still have one or two matters I would like to discuss.
Then please, do so.
Did you notice the grease spot on your passport? See it just at the beginning of your wife's first name?
These things happen when traveling.
Have you remembered anything about last night that might help us?
Nothing.
Merci, Monsieur le Comte. Countess, I'm sorry to bother you again, but I wonder if I might have another word with you. Certainly. Do you remember when I showed you this handkerchief? Handmade, embroidered in Paris, and of course, the letter H. 3 ladies aboard have the letter H in their names. But Madame Hubbard considers such a handkerchief useless. Mademoiselle Debenham's middle name is Hermione, but her handkerchiefs are dainty linen, not expensive. Hildegard Schmidt is a lady's maid, not a lady.
Why are you telling me this?
It leaves only you and Princess Dragomirov, but her first name is Natalia.
It isn't my handkerchief.
There is a wet luggage label on your suitcase.
Oh?
Pulling it back, I found the initials HMK.
Well, that is fascinating, isn't it?
You told me you have never been to America.
I've never been to America.
When you say you've never been to America, you say it with an American accent.
These questions are pointless.
These are observations, Monsieur Lecomte, not questions.
You take too much upon yourself, mademoiselle. You are not a detective. You are a clerk in a train office, and your employer will hear her a representative of this railway, treated a diplomat and his wife.
Why was the grease spot added to your passport and the label to your case?
My wife has told you the handkerchief is not hers. There are no H's in her name. Let that be an end to it.
Why did you hide your true identity?
Surely you can guess the reason. This man who called himself Ratchet murdered my baby niece, killed my sister, and broke my brother-in-law's heart. 3 of the people I loved best and who made up my home, my world. Of all the people on this train, I alone had the strongest motive for killing him.
I give you my word of honor. Helena never left her compartment last night.
Then the handkerchief is yours.
No, it is not. I know I can't hope to make you believe me, but I assure you that is the truth.
When we learned who the man was, and that the handkerchief had been found with the letter H near his body, I pointed out to Helena it would be better to remove any connection to her. A luggage label, a grease spot to cover the alteration. What could be simpler?
I have read quite a bit about crime, Monsieur Lecomte. I hope you will take it as a compliment if I say you have the makings of a very fine criminal.
I think I will not take that as a compliment, no.
Madame la Comtesse, the motive for the murder lies in the past, in the tragedy that broke up your home. Help me. Take me back into the past. Tell me about your sister's household.
What can I tell you? They're all dead! All dead! All dead! Sonia! Robert! Darling, darling Daisy! That curly hair, impossible to comb, that sweet, sweet smile.
Tell me about the nursery maid who committed suicide.
Suzanne. If she was involved, I'm sure it was innocently. Chatting idly with someone, giving the times of Daisy's outings.
What was Suzanne's nationality?
She was French.
What was Suzanne's last name?
I was only a child myself at the time. All we called her was Suzanne.
Was there a nurse?
Yes, a trained hospital nurse. New Daughter was her name.
Did you have a tutor or governess, perhaps?
Yes, she was a dragon. English. Oh, rather Scots. A big red-haired woman.
What was her name?
Miss Freebody, if you can believe it.
How old was she?
She seemed frightfully old to me at the time, but I suppose she couldn't have been more than 40.
I know you were only a child at the time, and that the passage of years changes a person, but have you seen anyone on this train who reminds you of any of those people?
No, mademoiselle. I know my trying to conceal my identity has not helped you to believe me.
Right.
Monsieur Masterman, you were once in military service.
Yes, miss, but I can't think how you could know.
Love's Captive by Mrs. Arabella Richardson.
Ah, yes. One of the privileges a soldier retains after he's mustered out. Access to the Royal Military Library. It's quite well stocked. Not all strategy and tactics and memoirs, as you've discovered.
What was your regiment?
Miss Marceau, I'm going to tell you the truth. My service is, of course, a matter of record. I don't wish to hide it. I'm quite proud of it, as a matter of fact, but it's easily researched, and the connections will be found.
Connections?
I'm sure you must already suspect. Yes, I knew Colonel Armstrong. I was his Batman in the war, and afterwards his valet in New York. I'm afraid I concealed that fact when you questioned me earlier. It was very wrong of me, miss. I feel better now that I've made a clean breast of it.
Would you like to change your story about last night?
Why, no. It is as I told you.
Do you have anything more to tell me of the Italian gentleman?
No, miss, and I hope you're not suspecting Tonio in any way. Tonio wouldn't hurt a fly, and I can state positively that he never left our compartment all last night. Tonio may be a foreigner, miss, but he's a very gentle creature, really. Not like those nasty, murdering mafiosi one reads about.
You seem to know Tonio better than you led me to believe.
Well, yes, we work together. Well, he hasn't told you yet. I thought he had. That's why I... Oh dear. I think I have nothing more to say.
That will be enough.
I shan't change my story now, no matter how much you badger me.
Right.
Dr. Constantine?
I thought you had forgotten about me. You have further need of my expert advice.
I'd like to talk to you about that, yes.
Good.
Could you give me an account of your movements last night?
My movements? Surely, I am not a suspect. But it is absurd. I joined the train at Belgrade. I am the sole paying passenger of the Athens-Paris coach. Surrounded by the working staff. The doors are locked between my coach and the coach to Calais. So, I could not have committed the murder.
That will do for now, Doctor.
Alright, I want to make sure that I'm doing this right, so let's quickly check if I'm on the right track. Before we actually end this video. This LP's going on far longer than I actually wanted it to. Restaurant car, done that. Masterman.
I don't think... I have nothing more...
Oh, two more people here.
I have a few more questions, Frau Schmidt, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
How long have you been with Madame la Princesse?
10 years.
15 years, Schmidt.
Yeah, that is right. 15, mademoiselle. I am sorry. This murder, this waiting, it distracts me.
I understand you are an excellent cook.
Yeah, indeed. All of my ladies have said so. Your Excellency.
Calm yourself, Schmidt. You don't know what you are saying.
That is true. I do not know what I am saying.
That will do for now, Mademoiselle Schmidt. I have returned to you, Your Highness.
I thought you might.
I'm having some difficulty locating the owner of this handkerchief.
I am sorry to hear that. If you had asked me, I could have told you it is mine.
Yours? But, Your Highness, your first name is Natalia.
I'm perfectly aware of my first name, mademoiselle. My handkerchiefs are always embroidered with Russian characters. In the Cyrillic alphabet, H is written as A.
How did your handkerchief come to be lying by the murdered man's body?
I have no idea.
Your maid said she did not recognize this handkerchief.
Schmidt believes in loyalty as I do. I believe in loyalty to one's friends and one's family and one's class.
Au revoir, Princess Dragomirov.
Despite all the calamity, I have enjoyed sharing my compartment.
Thank you, Greta. But I'm afraid I must ask you some more questions.
Yeah, I am thinking you must. Our gracious Father, who art in heaven, guides your hand, I think. So, I am content.
I found a postcard in your suitcase.
My one keepsake from that time. It is a silly thing, but I hold it dear.
Coney Island is in America.
Yeah, of course. It is on the Long Island of New York, in the country of America. I lied to you when I said I had never been there. May God forgive me.
On the back of the postcard, you write that Helena rode on the roller coaster.
Helena Gilbert, Mrs. Armstrong's young sister, only 10 years of age, but so brave. I am not so brave. It is true. It is true. She was an angel, a sweet, trusting angel. She knew nothing but kindness and love, and she was took away by that wicked, wicked man. And her poor mother, and the other little one who never lived at all. I was to be that little child's nurse too. I ought to have told you, but I was afraid. I did so rejoice that that evil man was dead, that he could not anymore kill the little children. I know nothing, but if you would like to talk later, we can.
I beg your pardon, mademoiselle, but could we talk at another time?
Alright. Time to talk to...
Do not disturb me! Someone has stolen my Black Forest cake batter, and I must make it once more.
Alright.
This door is tightly locked.
Oh,
I won't find... Every need.
fuck. That made me jump. It was scary. Right, I think I can do this now without any support or help.
What are you doing? Let go of me. Ow! Take your hands off me. Put me down. Put me down. You will never get away with this. Oh. Ow!
It is secured somehow on the outside.
Princess Dragomirov's parasol.
I already know what to do with this, so let's have a look at this. It's not far away, doesn't look like it.
Oh, Mama. The most generous of kidnappers. It appears that all of your belongings are restored to you. Mais non, the key to the security room of the baggage car is missing.
Small key to the security room, emergency crate. Pick up the broken padlock, keys to snow shoes, go back to the train.
The snow. Ah, your return. So is there more to report to me, mademoiselle?
And that is everything
We progress, mademoiselle.
The scarlet kimono turns up in my luggage. I swear to you it does not belong to me.
Oh, mademoiselle, I have no doubt of that. You have vigorously pursued its owner's identity. No, no, no. It is a defiance, you understand? It is a gauntlet thrown down. Very well. We take it up.
The handkerchief with the H belongs to the princess.
I confess I should have remembered that in the Cyrillic alphabet, Arch is written as N. And she has a strong motive to want Ratchet dead. But are we meant to believe that this elderly woman prances about in the scarlet silk kimono? Or could strike with such ferocity?
Schmidt is accustomed to cooking for her employers, as we suspected.
And her mistake in how long she has been in the employ of the princess is remarkable. A difference 1/3 less than her mistress claims. 10 years. We must look deeper into this. What course do you suggest?
I will not ask the Countess the name of the Armstrong cook. I will radio to Barnaby.
A wise decision, I think.
Boscarelli was the Armstrong chauffeur.
It was a deduction most simple.
Masterman was Colonel Armstrong's valet.
And his Batman during the war.
Greta Olsen was Daisy Armstrong's nurse.
This may explain the zeal with which she cares for her young charges at her mission, and why she never had any children of her own.
The nursemaid Suzanne, who threw herself to her death, was French.
Wait, to know her full name might be instructive.
The Armstrong nurse was named New Daughter.
An odd name, that. What nationality do you think?
Slavic or Scandinavian?
Well, perhaps. I think that the Countess has the most fanciful mind and is quite adept at the word games. She is playing them now. Noi daughter sounds, I think, only by coincidence, vaguely Scandinavian. Olsen is, of course, authentic Scandinavian.
New daughter. New daughter. Olsen, old son.
It is not yet fact, but it is worth pursuing.
Helena Gilbert's governess was an old hag named Freebody.
What an unfortunate name for an old hag is Freebody. It is more apt a name for the generation of flippers.
Flappers. The fast young women were called flappers in America. Thank goodness skirts are finally lengthening again.
As you say. I wonder if during your time at university in England you had occasion to patronize the clothing shops for the fashionable woman in London.
No, Monsieur Poirot, not on a student's budget.
There is such a shop near my own tailor called Debenham and Freebody, and the description the Countess gives to you is as far from the attractive young woman Mary Debenham as one could hope to get.
The Countess recognized no one on the train.
Including Madame la Princesse? Her sister's godmother? Monsieur McQueen she may also have seen, but he has grown much, of course, and the appearance changes. But a woman of the advanced years of the princess does not change so much, I think. No, I find this lack of recognition the most damning point against the Countess in all of her evasions and lies. So you see now why the Countess's failure to recognize anyone grows beyond suspicious.
Perhaps she is nearsighted. If she were the second murderer in Ratchet's room last night, that might explain why she didn't notice he was already dead.
You know, at times you remind me so of my good friend Hastings. Merci, mademoiselle. We are now armed with...
Alright, now I've got to make a makeshift radio, and apparently I've got a bent butter knife.
I bent the blade of the butter knife back on itself.
Hammer. Combine the bent butter knife, hammer, and large nails. Okay. Hammer. 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 Large nails.
A makeshift telegraph key. I constantly amaze myself.
Okay, right, let's go to the Athens Paris coach and go to room 16. Without walking into any other places. Okay. Combine the copper wire with pliers or meat cleaver. Copper wire with meat cleaver. Okay.
I suppose that will do as a telegraph key.
I've already done that. Use the cover on the bowl. Place a statue in the bowl. Place a statue in the bowl. Really? I'll never have guessed. See, these are things I would never have guessed. You combine the copper bracelet with the pliers to get bent copper bracelet.
The copper bracelet is now straight with a hooked end.
Alright, well, this is going to be the final part. So I'm actually going to call this a video, guys. And next time we will venture on. Most likely will be the last video next time. So thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you then. Ta-ta for now.